Hello, welcome back to the Money Hacks podcast. I'm Kim Kent, your host, and I'm coming to you live today. Well, is it live? I'm live recording from Bali. I'm actually in this gorgeous villa. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see I've set this up so you can see the view from my upstairs room in this 6-person villa, six bedrooms, 6 bathrooms. It is freaking gorgeous. So if you're only listening and not watching the video that comes with this, I just want you to imagine big, spacious palm trees, gorgeous light. The roof of the second story has grass. The roof of the first story that doesn't have a second story above it actually has grass on top. So when you walk out from my room, so if you can see it on the video, you can walk out onto this beautiful grass roof, which I have already done some yoga and Pilates on this morning. So it's absolutely fabulous. I am recording inside just so you get the best sound. Otherwise, I would love to be outside recording for you, but I want to make sure I don't want to tease you too much with the ambience of Bali, right? So we're in this little town, this village north from Ubud. I can never pronounce it. It starts with a T. Telalegan. I think I actually did it right that time. Anyway, I am recording a bunch of episodes for you. So the upcoming weeks, I am in Bali giving you this information. And I'm just pumped because the topics that we're going to be talking about are so powerful and really good to shift your perspective and get you thinking differently, because that's always my intention. My intention is always to challenge the current thought processes you have around money and your relationship with money, so you can start breaking free from those thought processes and emotions that are keeping you trapped financially and start actually receiving the money, making the money that you work so hard for and that you dream about. So we're talking today around the subject of, are rich people actually greedy? I don't know about you. Well, I say that. I don't know about you, but this was definitely me, but I can guarantee you're listening right now and you're like, yes, I heard this so much growing up. I heard the saying that rich people are greedy on repeat growing up. And it rolls off the tongue, right? It kind of rolls off the tongue with money is the root of all evil. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. More money, more problems. All of those stories and those, well, what else do I call them? They're just stories, just sentences, right? So are rich people really greedy? And I really want to break this down. But what I will say, to disclaimer first, if you truly want to reprogram this thought process out of your mind and rewire your neural pathways in your brain to not have this potential belief running the show subconsciously, you actually need to do the work to reprogram your subconscious mind. This is what I teach in the pre-module work inside my Wealthy as Fuck program. We actually go deep into the subconscious. We reprogram all the money beliefs, all the money stories you heard growing up that are no longer serving you now, that are keeping you feeling financially trapped, including if you heard rich people are greedy. And I'm going to explain why this belief is capping you, why this belief is sabotaging you. But if you want to do the permanent work, you've got to do the process to reprogram your mind. But even just now learning, shifting your perspective on it, and what I'm going to be talking about in this episode is going to bring so much more awareness to your conscious mind, so you can start making better conscious decisions and catching yourself when you're sabotaging yourself. Okay, so it's still a powerful tool to know, and this information to know. But I will always recommend, if you want the deep, permanent, fast, effective work, you've got to do the reprogramming your subconscious mind. I recommend my process inside my program, but there are a lot of processes out there that you can do. I'm not the only person who works in this field, but I really fucking love my process. And so do my clients. So if you heard rich people are greedy growing up, you will have a level of belief around that is true. Now, how that sabotages us as an adult is, we're an adult now. We're consciously like, I want to be rich. Of course you want to be rich. Who doesn't want to be fucking rich, right? We want more money to have more choices. And there's a level of ownership in that. Of course, I desire more richness, more wealth in my life, because the more I have, the more I have to give. The more I have to give myself, my family, and others, the better quality of life I have. So let's just get really clear on that. But rich people are greedy. Now, growing up, we learn that greed is also bad. Greed is a bad thing. It is a negative quality to have. You don't want to be greedy, because greedy also aligns with being selfish. And selfish, we have grown up believing that selfish is bad. So if we right now consciously, as an adult, are like, I want to be rich. Now, your conscious mind makes up about 5% of your reality. The rest of your reality has been created by your subconscious, which is the 95%, because it's something like 4 million times stronger than your conscious mind, right? Your subconscious mind is holding on to, but rich people are greedy. So what is happening here? There is this blockage. You're trying to do the work in your life to be rich, right? Work more, hustle more, start other businesses, learn how to invest, learn better money management, all of the things. You're doing it. You're working hard, right? But if you're subconsciously having this belief of, no, but rich people are greedy, and you're also believing that associating greed with bad, you are never going to allow yourself to be rich, because you do not want to be a bad person, because you're trying to avoid the negative. So can you see how we peel back this layer? And I want to kind of tangent, because, that's how my brain works. The reason that these rich people are greedy are stuck in your subconscious, and your subconscious is so strong, is because you'll hear me share this a lot. And I want this on repeat in your brain until it's just like, not, this knowledge is like etched into your brain. In the first 7 to 9 years of our life, our brain is, our mind, our brain is absorbing everything. It's a sponge. There's no such thing as a subconscious and conscious. It's just one. And so everything we're learning, hearing, seeing, witnessing, experiencing, creating beliefs of what we feel is right or wrong. And that is hardwiring into our brain, which then becomes the subconscious. It's creating those, the foundation, right, of our thought processes and how we view the world. So when we're told things, or when we learn that greed is bad and selfish is bad and rich people are greedy, we have created these links to, okay, rich means greed, greed is bad, I want people to like me, because if you're greedy, people aren't going to like me. I want to be loved, I want to be accepted, I want to be validated, I want to be enough. So it's this fucked up cycle we get ourselves into. Now, we also grow up as kids and learning about money, like more money does. Like more money allows us to buy things. We see people who are rich have more things and have more choice and more freedom and a better quality life and better quality experiences. I'm stereotyping here, but as a general consensus, we know this. So there's a level of desire we develop as a child into adolescence of, well, I need money to have a good life and do the things I want to do. So then we have this burning desire for money. And we chase the money, and we want to earn more, work more, get more, have more. But subconsciously, we also attach, you don't want to be too rich, because if you get rich, you become greedy. So it's like we find this like middle path, like this. Don't be too rich, but you need enough money to survive. But you want to thrive, but don't thrive too much, because you don't want to be deemed as greedy and selfish, and then people will not like you. Now, when we hit that like 8 to 9 years old, we have the subconscious, our critical thinking factor kicks in, and it kind of allows us to start thinking differently, consciously, and making more decisions and better decisions for ourselves, or like thinking for ourselves. But we have the subconscious programming there saying, well, this is actually what's right or wrong. So if you think, any age from 8 to 9, but look, you're adults, let's say right now, you're thinking, no, but I want to be rich because that's good. Like more money is good. That's exciting. Your critical thinking factor goes, but you're not rich yet. And then your subconscious goes, yeah, because down here stored, you actually think being rich is greedy, and you don't want to be hated by people or rejected by people, because people don't like people who are greedy. So no, can you see how like there's this block? Yay. Every time I talk about this, I'm like, thanks, mum and dad, for teaching me this. Thanks for fucking me over with my money beliefs. But that's okay. Awareness precedes change. So we become aware of this, and then we need to do the work to reprogram it. So you need to realize that, okay, what are the beliefs? What's the perspective I hold around greed? Like, is greed actually a bad thing? No, yes, no. Like you could find a heap of reasons why it is and a heap of reasons why it's not, right? You can find the duality. Okay, being selfish, you can find a heap of reasons why it is and a heap of reasons why it isn't good. Okay, that's the duality. So everything is actually in duality, but our subconscious programming polarizes things and what's good and what's bad. So are rich people really greedy? It all comes down to your perspective of, is greed, what is greed? And then is it good or bad? So if you perceive greed as good and the rich people greedy and you say, yes, like there's no problem. And the reality is you're listening to this because you did hear growing up that rich people are greedy and greed is bad. Okay, so I know it can be really hard and really challenging to see the opposite side, but everything only has a meaning on it because we put the meaning on it, right? Nothing has meaning until we attach meaning. So I personally do not believe that rich people are greedy. I used to, I don't, because I've done the work to realize, to reprogram the subconscious mind. I don't believe rich people are greedy. Now, there are people in life who demonstrate or have the characteristics of greed. Okay, me included. The thing is, we all have it. Sometimes we can see when we are, and sometimes we can see like, oh, I'm not a greedy person because I don't want to be a bad person. But there are times in your life where you have embodied the quality of being greedy. Okay, you have embodied the quality of being selfish. You've embodied the quality of being rich. So it actually is all there. So I do not believe that rich people are greedy. I believe that there are people in this world that can act greedier. I'm like, is that the right grammar? Can act more greedier than other people. Now, in saying that, I'm labeling them and I'm judging them, including myself. But then it's like, but do I think greed is bad? How am I going to perceive greed? Am I going to create a judgment of greed? So then I'm going to put people in categories. Am I going to start doing that? And I'm going to do that to myself. So can you see these thought process that you have to like break those thought processes down to stop sabotaging your thoughts and then your judgment and then your behaviors? So yes. So one more time. I do not believe rich people are greedy. I believe that there are people in this world that can portray greed or can, I'm trying to think of the right word, like it's embody, but there's another word. Embody greed, display greed, like you're probably thinking right now, like, you know, the word I'm trying to think of. But they act greedier than others. But if you then want to break it down more, if you think of all the people you believe are rich in this life, do you actually judge them to be greedy straight away? Or how do you judge them? How do you look at them? Are you even putting them in the greed box? Or do you feel like, depending on how strong your victim ego is running the show around this rich people are greedy, are you finding the people in your life that you deem rich, are you looking for the layers of their greed and their selfishness so you can justify your subconscious programming? So then your subconscious mind goes, see, Kim, that person, you can see where they're being greedy and where they're being selfish and they're rich and you don't want to be like that. So you know what? You're better off being not rich and broke and struggling or just, you know, self-sabotaging or keeping yourself playing small because then you're not going to be greedy like that person. That's what our subconscious mind, that's what your subconscious mind is doing to justify and bring yourself, make you feel better about your current financial situation. If you feel like there's someone out there that's richer than you, and you would love their lifestyle, but then you find the flaws, right? Nope, they're greedy there, they're selfish there. I could never be like that. So, and I don't want to be like that. So I'm actually a nicer person by not being rich. But if you really looked at it and you went and listed all the people who are rich in your life, like who you perceive as rich or richer than you, and you go and see all or find the evidence of everywhere that they're beautiful, they're happy, they're giving, they're selfless, they're like beautiful people, you could write the longest list. And then you're finding the evidence that like is that being rich is not greedy or being rich is not bad. Anyway, I really hope my thought processes for you right now making sense. Absolutely makes sense to me. And I would love for you to leave listening to this episode with an open mind around like, where am I judging people for being rich or wealthy, but putting them in the greed, selfish category? Where am I justifying where I am in life, even though I'm not fully satisfied with where I'm at financially? Where am I justifying my level of wealth to stay here so I don't become hated or don't lose friends and get deemed as rich, greedy or selfish? So it's like doing a little audit and getting really, really aware of where that's playing out in your life. So leaving you with that beautiful food for thought. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, amazing rest of your week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this, please leave a review, hit the 5 stars, whatever platform you're listening on. It would mean the world to me, and it really helps get this information out to other people and help with the mission. And, you know, my big vision is, like, my big vision is to help women and families, you know, change their energy and attract more money so they can afford their dream lifestyle. And I want that for you so much, because I've been able to do this. And, you know, you've heard my story through other episodes, and I'll share it more and more. I didn't come from wealth. I came from so much financial strain and so much stress and so much subconscious programming around having money is bad. So I had a lot to break through, and I've been able to create this incredible lifestyle where I am currently kid-free for 7 days in Bali, and I'm coming back in a month again, kid-free. Like, how freaking amazing is that? Because I can afford to do this, and I can afford to cover my husband's wage because he works for himself. So he can stay home, and he loves being a stay-at-home dad. He loves being a dad and hanging out with our little girl. So if I can do this, you can create this too. And it all starts with reprogramming your mindset and then learning the principles to manage your money and your finances. And if you're interested in working with me even more, head to www.wealthyaf.com.au. All the links are in the show notes anyway. And you can have a stalk of what I'm all about, the mission, the vision, the journey. You can apply. And if you make it through the application process, we can chat and we can see how we're going to best support you to create that dream lifestyle and afford that dream lifestyle, which is really, really cool. Otherwise, I will chat to you next week when the next episode is released. See ya.